and welcome. Today I'm so excited to be able to bring you 3 new Dollar Tree Christmas wreaths. I love being able to share with you different Dollar Tree DIYs, and if you've been around, you will know that I absolutely love creating simple, easy wreaths. I never get too complicated with them, and this is no exception. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jennifer, and this is a little bit of Calm and Crazy. Today I'm excited to co-host with NateLee from Design to the Nines to bring you an open playlist, the ultimate Christmas wreath playlist. So if you have a YouTube channel and you created a Christmas wreath, you can add it to our playlist. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, that's okay. This is still your one-stop shop so that you can be inspired and see so many beautiful Christmas wreaths. I will have the playlist linked below as well as NateLee's channel. And let's go ahead and jump right on into it. For the first wreath, I am using these bamboo wreath forms that I picked up at Dollar Tree. They both say 12 inches on them, but clearly you can see one is bigger and one is smaller. So just make sure that you grab a smaller and a bigger one. So here I am starting off with this polka dotted burlap ribbon that I also picked up at the Dollar Tree. I did have to trim a little bit. That is the first time I've actually had any that was messed up, but that is quite okay. I just take the ribbon and I wrap it around. I didn't even hot glue it at the beginning. I just used the ribbon itself in order to secure that in place. Once I do get it all the way wrapped around, then I will use hot glue in order to secure that down. Now this is a smaller wreath form. I went ahead and I wrapped the larger wreath form. That did take a full spool of ribbon plus just a little bit more, but I did not make you sit through that one. Once you have both of the wreaths completely wrapped, in order to secure those together, I'm using just 3 zip ties. You can also grab these at Dollar Tree. When you have all 3 zip ties on there, go ahead and trim off that little extra part. And then I went back in with the exact same ribbon that I had used earlier and wrapped that around in order to hide the zip ties. Again, I didn't worry about hot gluing it in the beginning. I just let the ribbon secure it down, but at the very end, after I trimmed it off, I did go back in with some hot glue in order to make sure that was nice and secure and not going anywhere. Now here I have a buffalo check scarf that I picked up also from Dollar Tree. What's great about this project is that you can choose any ribbon or scarf that you want, just whatever you choose to match your personal preference. So I folded my scarf in half, and then I'm taking the second half of my scarf and I'm threading it through. Then I split my scarf so that, well, I divide it, I should say, and I take 1/2 of it around the top loop, and then I take my bottom half around that bottom loop, and that is how I secured my scarf onto my snowman. I didn't have to knot it or hot glue it or anything like that. So technically I can change out my scarf anytime I want to. Super easy. Now for the hat, I picked up a beanie also from Dollar Tree, but it needed a little bit more structure. And so in order to do that, I'm using some pipe cleaners or chenille stems, whatever you want to call these. And I'm going to be hot gluing those on. Now what's great about this is kind of like a ribbon wired or a wired ribbon effect. That's what it will create. So then you can manipulate the hat any way you want once you have it on your snowman. And that way your hat won't be like flopsy flimsy. I hope that is making some sense. So I started off by folding that first pipe cleaner in half and putting it right in the center. And then after that, I did the exact same thing perpendicular and put another piece right in the center, the opposite direction. Now I did make sure that I had pipe cleaners going all the way to the very ends of the hat because I wanted to make sure I had structure all the way down and that it wasn't just at the very top of my hat. And so you'll see that I did that on both sides. I also made sure that I did that in the center as well. Once I had all the pipe cleaners in my hat, all I had to do was flip it back over, and then I had to use a little bit more hot glue in order to secure that on to my snowman. It really is as simple as that, and then you just start manipulating your hat until you get it looking the way you want it to look. To embellish my snowman, I have a pick that I picked up at Hobby Lobby for about $1.50, and then the red berries came from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to trim a little bit off of both of these and then start hot gluing those to the hat. I also have some teeny tiny pine cones. Those came from Dollar Tree as well. They came in a set of the smelly good ones, the ones that smell like cinnamon. Oh, I love those. Now, don't forget, I will have a complete supply list in the description box for you. If you have any questions about where I got anything, you can check that out. I think he turned out so adorable, and I think he is so versatile. I love that you can place him on a door, on a wall, but you can even put him on a shelf or on a fireplace mantle. So many ideas and options for him, plus you can change up his ribbon and scarf to match your personal decor if this is not your style. I hope that you love him as much as I do. For my cozy winter wreath, I'm using this 14-inch wreath form, the gray and white fleece baby blanket, and the white microfiber towel that you can get in the automotive section at Dollar Tree. To begin with, I took my baby blanket, I folded it in half, and then I folded it in half again, and then I went in with my straight edge ruler and my rotary cutter, and I'm cutting the sewn edges off and creating like a straight line for me to then use in order to cut my strips. You can, of course, go in with scissors if that is what you have. You don't have to have a rotary cutter. Once I had my straight line, I went in and I cut 3-inch strips. If you wanted to do this, you could cut like every 2 blocks, and that could be the size of your strips if that is easier for you. Now, with this very last one, I went ahead and I just trimmed off the end. I didn't use it on this project. I will save it for another project, but I went ahead and got it prepared. For the towel, I just folded it in half, and I did the same thing. I went in and I cut like the serged edge or the done hemmed edge, whatever you want to call it, to get rid of that and give myself some straight lines to work with. And then I went in and I cut 2-inch strips this time and went through, and I did it again with the length of the towel because I wanted longer strips for this, and the same with the baby blanket. All my strips are like the length of the baby blanket and the length of the towel, so I have longer strips. After that, I took the baby blanket and I hot glued it and then just started wrapping it around. And every time I finished one strip of the baby blanket, I would take a strip of hot glue, as you can see right here, and then I would place the second piece of blanket on top of it, and then I would just keep wrapping. It was as simple as that, so easy. And then when I was done, I went ahead and I just hot glued it to the back in order to finish it off. Now, if you wanted, of course, to just like leave it at this point, I think you could, and you could add just like a quick, easy embellishment. But of course, I wanted to go ahead and add the white bow, and I wanted to keep it soft for the texture. That's why I chose the towel. So I started off with 3 strips and I just did half knots. I did not even go in with a full knot to begin with, but once I had the 3 strips on, I went ahead and I finished off tying them into their knots. But notice the knots don't line up, and I did that on purpose. After that, I went ahead and I tied on 2 more strips, so a total of 5 strips of the towel. Once I had all 5 strips on there, now it's time for me to create my faux bow. So I took some hot glue and I looped my ends underneath and started placing my ends down, creating these loops. Now, again, I very specifically laid my loops in different places in order to create kind of that faux bow look. I didn't just lay them down one beside the other. I tried to kind of tuck them in. Some of them I curled under just a little bit more. Luckily, you can kind of see what I'm doing. And sometimes I even needed to add some hot glue, tuck the material together, and then hot glue it when I went under, just so that the fabric wasn't as thick. As you can see right there, I'm tucking it and then adding more hot glue. Once I had all of my loops created, I needed to kind of fluff up my bow, but the only way for it to really stay again, of course, is going to be with some hot glue. So I used hot glue in order to attach different bow parts to each other, or the different loops to each other, in order for the loops to stay where I wanted them to stay. So I just went in with the tiniest bit of hot glue in order to do that. Once I had my bow looking the way that I wanted to, I decided it needed a tail, so I went in with one more piece of towel and I tied it into a knot at the very bottom of my bow, and then I wanted to ribbon the edges by cutting a V. So you start at the bottom corner and you cut an angle towards the center in order to do that. And I just absolutely love how this soft, cozy little bow turned out. Now for the last step, I wanted to embellish it by using this cute little Dollar Tree tag. All I did was change out the red ribbon for some white twine that you also can get in the automotive section at Dollar Tree, and I just tied that right onto the wreath. I just absolutely love this wreath. It just screams winter to me. It is just perfect, not only for this time of year, but moving into January. It is such a winter wreath, not just a Christmas wreath. I think it is just so cute and cozy, and I hope you love it as much as I do. This last wreath is so easy, especially if you know how to make a bow, which you will find out I am not the best at. So here you see that I have another bamboo wreath form. It is the smaller one this time, and a couple of choices of picks. Now I'm actually using some from Walmart, but I wanted to let you know that you can get them at the Dollar Tree if you find the ones that you like there. I am just using 2 picks that match each other, so just pick 2 of your favorite picks. Walmart also, or sorry, Dollar Tree also has these red berry ones if you wanted to have a little bit more color in your wreath. So to start off with, you're just going to take your picks and you're just going to bend them ever so slightly so that they will curve to the shape of your wreath. And then once you have them curved, I'm going to just take them and I'm going to slide them actually underneath some of the twine that is already there, just to kind of hold them into place while I am going back in with some more twine in order to secure them down. Now I chose to use twine here because there's already twine on the wreath, and then it's a little bit more or less inconspicuous. But if you want, or if you're more comfortable with floral wire, by all means you could also do that. But I'm just taking about 3 pieces of twine, I'm wrapping it around different parts of each pick, and then I'm just tying a little knot on the back and then trimming off the extra. I do that on both sides, and then I know that my picks are nice and secure. I told you this is so easy. Once I have both picks nice and secure, all I need to do now is add a bow. But this is where it gets a little tricky. So here I have some buffalo check ribbon. I picked this up at Dollar General for just $1. Of course, you can grab some ribbon at Dollar Tree if you prefer. I just happen to really like this ribbon. Okay, so I am not your bow expert, but let me try to walk you through what it is that I am doing here. So I start off with the wrong side of the ribbon facing up. I accordion the ribbon and twist it over my thumb so that the good side of the ribbon is now facing up, and I create like a little bitty loop. And then I twist it again, holding it with my thumb and my finger. Now this is when I start creating my loops. So I create my loop, making sure the good side of the loop is out, twist it, and then I create a loop on the other side once I have the ribbon straightened out. And I want to make sure that my loops are the same size. So once I get my ribbon back between my thumb and my finger, I want to make sure that I twist it again, because every time I twist it, that is the way that I make sure that my ribbon is showing the good side of the ribbon and not the underneath of the ribbon. And I hope that is making sense. And then you just go back and forth between both sides until you have the number of loops that you want, making sure that you have equal number of loops on both sides. So for me, I decided that I was going to create 4 loops on each side. So once I had all of my loops created, I went in with a pipe cleaner, chenille stem, whatever you want to call it, and the part that I'm pinching with my finger and my thumb, I wrap that around and then I twisty tied it in order to hold that secure. Now I only used half of a chenille stem. I wish I would have left it whole to begin with So that is my one tip. Don't trim it yet. Trim it after you put it on the wreath. That way you have it the length that you need it for your wreath. So here you can go ahead and fluff up your bow if you want to. It actually is easier to just wait and fluff it up when it's on the wreath, but now you can see that it's really easy to manipulate once you have that pipe cleaner on there. So now it's time to go ahead and trim my tail. So again, to get that little duck tail, I'm just folding my ribbon in half and I'm cutting up towards the center at an angle to create that little V shape, and I'm doing that to both sides. That is my favorite way to cut most ribbons, or you can just go in at a diagonal if that is your preferred style. In order to attach the bow to the wreath, you're just going to use your Chanel stem, pipe cleaner, whatever you call it. Of course, I made mine too short, so I had to go in and add a second one to do that. So remember, don't trim your pipe cleaner until you have it attached to your wreath. I also decided to go ahead and turn the bow on its side. Again, that is just a personal preference. I absolutely love this wreath. I think it's such a traditional wreath, and there is just something heartwarming about tradition. I love that I took the time to work on my bow skills. Are you a bow novice or a bow expert? Let me know that in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed all 3 of these super easy Dollar Tree Christmas wreaths. But as always, if you have one that you like more than the others, let me know which one that is in the comments below. If you did make a Christmas wreath and you create videos, we cannot wait for you to join our playlist. Also on Instagram, we are using #UltimateChristmasWreath. I hope you will check out the playlist and be inspired. This is definitely the time to start doing your Christmas crafting. If you enjoy Dollar Tree budget DIYs and easy decor, hit that subscribe button so that you can become a part of my DIY family. And I hope you have a fabulous week, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!